My name's Richie Weber. I'm a grateful recovering heroin addict. I'm here to tell you today that not only is recovery possible, but all things are possible through recovery. We're here today to fight for recovery.
Hi, I'm Tom Starwalt, Sandusky County Prosecuting Attorney, and I'm here to support the fight for recovery.
I'm Sheriff Kyle Overmeyer of Sandusky County, and today we are fighting for recovery, and this is a fight that we will not lose.
Hi, I'm Dean Bliss, Chief of Police, Fremont, here to support Fight for Recovery.
Hi, my name's Tim Braun. I'm an attorney here in Fremont, Ohio, and I'm showing my support today for Fight for Recovery.
Hey, my name's Danny Sanchez, and I'm Mayor of Fremont, Ohio, and together we can
fight for recovery.
You lose something you can't replace. When you love someone, but it goes to waste.
It seems like week after week, weekend after weekend, there's something very positive going on here in Fremont. Every week that the news comes to Fremont, Ohio, it's for something positive, and no one had to be told to come here. Everyone's here because we're all here together to fight for recovery. A year ago when I campaigned, we talked about the drug problem. My door's always been open to folks that are going through recovery, and I've talked to 20 or 30 different people, including one of our own local leaders here, Richie Weber.
Hi guys, my name's Richie Weber and I'm a grateful recovering heroin addict. Well, I only got 10 minutes to tell you a pretty long story, so I'll try and keep it short and sweet for you guys.
He is? Nick?
The easiest place for me to start is all the way back in high school. You know, I was a good kid in high school. This is the thing about this epidemic. It doesn't affect the people that you typically think would be heroin addicts. I was an ex-heroin addict. Your neighbor could be a heroin addict. The person that was a state football player could be a heroin addict. In high school, my sophomore year, I won state in track. My junior year of football, I actually broke my arm. I got a pretty gnarly little scar there from surgery. And after that, I was prescribed opiate painkillers, including Percocet and Vicodin. That started a slow downward spiral of everything that I knew and loved. My addiction started out slow, and I hit it very well for a long time. You know, I had multiple opportunities for track scholarships, and I threw those away because of my addiction. Yeah, you know, we didn't know about these withdrawals. I tell people a lot of times, you know, when you say, you know, a heroin addict, they deserve to die or something, that they knew what they were getting themselves into. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I was 17 years old when I got my first Percocet. It doesn't start with heroin. No one in this area wakes up one day and says, you know what, it'd be a nice day to do heroin today. No, we don't do that. It starts out with the pills, and it's a slippery slope. Because at the very best, I thought it wouldn't happen to me. At the very worst, I honestly didn't know they were addicted. My doctor gave it to me. Why would I be worried about becoming addicted to this? My doctor wouldn't steer me wrong. So, you know, we figured out we were going through withdrawals, and I started to realize I might have a problem. I flirted off and on with quitting a couple times, and eventually my addiction just grew. And eventually it grew to a point that I couldn't get out of bed without doing one of these pills. And, you know, I got desperate, and I turned to heroin because I couldn't afford the pills anymore. They got more and more expensive. And the best way I can describe withdrawals is about, say, the worst flu you've ever had in your life. Imagine, you know, you're going through it for 3 to 5 days. And imagine if you had that flu and you knew that there was one medicine you could take and you'd instantly feel better. Wouldn't you be tempted to take that medicine, even if you knew it put you back somewhere bad? That's the struggle that we face. I consider myself a pretty strong-willed person. When I won state and track my sophomore year, I ran with mono. I pushed through because I wanted it that bad. But getting over heroin, I couldn't quit that on my own. Not once could I detox from heroin and get off of it. I had to go to jail to get off heroin. I tried rehab. It didn't work. But luckily today, I've been clean for 21 months. The turning point in my addiction, what finally made me get clean, was after, you know, a couple stints in jail. Last time that I went to jail, it was November 6th. My mom came and saw me on a Saturday. She came and saw me and she said, I have some bad news. And I said, what's that? She looked at me with tears in her eyes. And she said, your friend Bryce passed away. And that's like what made it real for me, was seeing my mom cry, and she said, you know, that could have been used so many times, because I overdosed twice. The second time I had to be hit with Narcan twice. They didn't think I was going to make it. And I'm here today because of Narcan. Narcan does save lives until people are ready to get help. So after that, I went to my cell and I thought about it. And I said, you know, I'm going to do whatever it takes to get clean. I don't care if I feel like a loser, because none of my old friends wanted to hang out with me. I had to hang out with my mom. I was the only person to hang out with me. I started going to meetings. I'd go to the gym at 3 in the morning, multiple times for months at a time to get over that anxiety. But I didn't have anybody else. I didn't have the support that's out there today. All you guys here, I couldn't even imagine you guys would have had my back then. But here you are today, so thank you very much for coming out.
Far away from my hometown of Clyde, Ohio. Clyde didn't have heroin addicts. I knew I would never be a heroin addict. I didn't even think that I'd even ever know anybody that was a heroin addict. Years later, though, my own son became addicted to heroin. One day at work, I overheard a conversation, and one of the statements I heard was, "We should just let all those heroin addicts die." Maybe they thought they were talking about a nameless space in a nameless city, in a place far away from Clyde, Ohio. But today's heroin addict lives right here in Northwest Ohio, in little towns like Clyde, Fremont, Bellevue, Green Springs, Vickery, Castalia, Sandusky, Port Clinton, Lindsay, and Tiffin. Today's heroin addict is our son or daughter, our niece or nephew, our mother or father, our aunt or uncle, our cousin or friend, our neighbor or co-worker, or our spouse or lover. I refuse to just let those heroines die. No, not on my watch. This is why I fight for recovery, and I fight for life. That is why I have gone public with my backstory, to raise awareness and offer support for programs that fight addiction.